Well, everyone, today is a really big day, and I'm really glad I got a haircut yesterday because this is going to be a momentous video. Throughout this journey, I've aimed to be as transparent as I can with you guys about everything I'm working on week to week. Inevitably, there were going to be some things that are just going to be inherently confidential or involved other people's privacy, which would prevent me from sharing those details. And in the past few months, there have been multiple things falling into that category, and I so wish I could have shared all the things because it's been truly wild. But one of those things is at least now partially shareable, and it has a huge impact on my startup journey and on this channel. A major new opportunity has come and has forced me into a terrifically difficult decision. Choosing between continuing to run full steam on Dropboard, where I have 100% ownership, have reached profitability, and believe I'm a few big sparks away from catching this thing on fire, or a totally different kind of opportunity to join another startup with huge potential at the ground floor. There's nothing quite like building your own income generating machine and watch it start to take off. And I'm entering the phase of this business that's going to be harder for my skill set to build the awareness to get those sparks to really blow this thing out. I really do have full confidence that I can get there because I think I've done the hardest part, which is building a truly useful product that organizations are purchasing every day. But I am acutely aware that the timeline on this is totally unknown. And the benefit of having your own bootstrap startup is the timeline is all yours. You don't owe anything to anybody. You have to reach ramen profitability for true freedom, which I have not done yet. Ramen profitability is when your business is not only profitable, but your living expenses are covered by the business profits after tax. But the point is, when you have 100% ownership and you're profitable, you got nothing but options. And because of that, it helps keep me in a posture of open-mindedness, which is a very advantageous place to live. The opportunity in front of me right now is too great to pass up. I am certainly taking a risk here, but that is what being a startup founder is all about. Taking risks, but being smart about the ones that you take and being aware that something bad could happen and you'll have to pick yourself up again and again and again. I can't tell you how many times I've been totally blindsided by something not working out, but I've also experienced amazing fortune that came out of left field that happened in the same kind of way. Being a strong founder means continually working on emotional maturity and learning tactics to maintain mental equilibrium and balance so that you can navigate roller coasters like this. And it means being an optimist about the world and rejecting fear when it's spewing what ifs with no sources to cite. So as of today, I've decided to put Dropboard on the back burner and join this startup as CTO. I'm going a bit out on a limb here sharing this with you guys because paperwork has actually not been settled yet, but because things are moving so fast, I thought I might not get a chance to make this video if I don't do it right now. That means that this will, at least temporarily, halt my weekly videos. I promise to check back in. I would love to come back at a later date and update you guys on everything that has happened. So let's do a final stats rundown of where things are today. Dropboard is at $1,574 of monthly recurring revenue net, and a projected monthly cash flow for May is $3,156, which would be a 130% increase from April. The recurring expenses for May were $376, and just about 30% of all my customers have chosen a yearly plan. I'm getting increased traction on the Wix marketplace and currently listed as the top app under team picks. And here's a little bit of the praise and reviews that Dropboard's received. And all of this has happened without spending anything on marketing. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a rundown of the journey. I made in-depth videos for 62 straight weeks. Super proud of that. That was a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun. I shipped 2 full products, 1 experimental product, and 1 product was fully designed but never actually built. And along the way were several build outs that got me from one thing to the next. I talked with probably over 100 customers and potential customers, and I'd estimate that I wrote probably over about 200,000 lines of code. I experienced some dark days, from going live on YouTube during a product hunt launch that failed miserably, to several rough points where I just felt lost and frustrated, to another product hunt launch that totally bombed. But I also experienced amazing things like getting the first dollar of revenue, becoming profitable, meeting some of you all and growing from your amazing feedback, and just learning so much along the way. So that's all there is for now. I really hope my channel has been valuable to you, and I'd love to continue hearing from you guys in the comments while this thing is on pause. Like I said, I have every intention of coming back and updating you guys. I'd love to end this by leaving you guys some lessons that I've learned from doing startups for 17 years straight so far. I'm not saying that I have all this figured out. These are some of the things that I work on consistently. 1, be kind to yourself, your partners, and your customers. Every startup journey is a long one, and maintaining a positive, sustainable, and candid environment is essential to survival. Dethroning your ego is a challenging and never-ending process. But at least in my experience, nothing else has created such an observable improvement. And I find now when I size someone up as a potential partner or to become part of my team, a lack of ego is one of the biggest positive signs. 3, I think. You must believe, and you must be an optimist. There's no way to do this without having that energy. But the biggest killer of all things is the very human condition of denial through magical thinking. Bottom line, you can't improve if you can't admit when something isn't working. And 4, finally, everything leads to everything. I can almost trace a literal path from every single startup I've done to the next thing. I built a spreadsheet to help me do sales for a product I was building, and that spreadsheet turned into a product that made $2,000 over the weekend, and one of the customers who bought that product turned into my next co-founder. And after a few more jumps, we had created a company that ended up generating over $20 million in revenue. Most of the steps along that way were failures, which if you guys know me, you know that I don't like that word, but there's kind of a frustrating lack of synonym for it. But the end result was clearly a big success. So keep your chin up, stick with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you'll all still be waiting here when I come back.